Do you actually think your reptile is healthy right now? You probably do. But here's what almost nobody tells you. Most of the ways we care for our reptiles are actually working against their natural instincts. Some of the things you're doing daily, thinking you're being an amazing owner, might actually be damaging their health. These things take less than a minute each. But once you start doing them, your reptile won't just survive, they'll actually thrive. Let's start with the one most people get completely wrong. 1. You're not replicating their natural light cycle. Ever think about whether your reptile is getting the right light? Most owners have a light on for 8 hours and assume that's enough. But here's the truth. Reptiles evolved for millions of years under natural sunlight that changes seasonally and daily. A 2019 study from the Journal of Zoo and Aquarium Research found that reptiles kept under constant artificial lighting showed elevated stress hormones, weakened immune systems, and shorter lifespans. When you keep the same light schedule year-round, you're freezing your reptile in time. They never experience the seasonal changes that trigger breeding, shedding, and proper metabolic function. The daily habit is simple. Start varying your light cycle. Longer days in summer, shorter days in winter. If your reptile is nocturnal, make sure their night cycle is actually dark. Your reptile's brain is waiting for these signals. Without them, they're living in confusion. 2. Your humidity levels are completely off. What if the environment you've built for your reptile is slowly dehydrating them? Most owners check temperature obsessively, but ignore humidity. Here's the thing. Different reptiles come from different climates. A bearded dragon from the desert needs different humidity than a boa from the rainforest. Yet most owners just guess. A study published in Herpetological Review found that incorrect humidity levels were among the top causes of respiratory infections and skin problems in captive reptiles. Chronic low humidity causes dehydration and weakened shell growth. But too much humidity promotes fungal infections and scale rot. You need the exact range for your species. The daily habit. Research your reptile's native humidity and buy a digital hygrometer. Check it twice daily. Adjust by misting, different substrate, or changing ventilation. This one change prevents major health issues. 3. You're feeding them the wrong food. Ever fed your reptile the same thing daily? Most owners buy one cricket type or one greens and stick with it. But reptiles in the wild eat diverse prey. When you feed the same meal repeatedly, you create nutritional gaps. A study in the Journal of Herpetological Medicine and Surgery showed that reptiles on monotonous diets developed calcium deficiencies, vitamin A toxicity, and metabolic bone disease at higher rates. Your bearded dragon needs roaches, dubia roaches, grasshoppers, and greens. Your corn snake needs different prey sizes at different life stages. Your iguana needs various vegetables, not just iceberg lettuce. The trick nobody knows is to rotate your food sources. Every 3 to 4 days, switch prey types. For herbivores, introduce new greens weekly. This mimics natural variation. Your reptile's digestion stays sharp, their immune system stays engaged, and you prevent developmental diseases. 4. You're handling them at the wrong times. Ever grabbed your reptile right after feeding, or first thing in the morning when they're still cold? Most owners don't think about timing. Your reptile's physiology changes based on temperature and digestion. A 2021 behavioral study found that reptiles handled during digestion showed stress responses and were more likely to regurgitate. Regurgitation causes internal injuries and infections. Even if they don't regurgitate, handling during digestion forces them to divert energy from breaking down food. The daily habit is simple. Wait at least 48 hours after feeding before handling. If your reptile is ectothermic, wait until they've basked and warmed up. Only then do they have the energy to handle stress without harm. This change dramatically reduces injury, regurgitation, and stress-related illness. And before we jump to the next one, if this is making you rethink how you treat your reptile, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more reptile owners who want to do this the right way. 5. Your enclosure is too small and boring. What if the space you've built for your reptile is driving them into chronic stress? Most owners think, as long as temperature and light are right, space doesn't matter. But that's dangerously wrong. Reptiles are incredibly sensitive to environmental enrichment. A study in zoo biology found that reptiles in bear enclosures showed elevated cortisol levels, reduced activity, and increased aggression compared to those in enriched environments. Your reptile needs places to hide, climb, burrow, or bask depending on their species. Hiding spots are critical. When your reptile can't hide, they're in constant predator alert mode. Over time, this creates learned helplessness. The daily habit: audit your enclosure. Add at least 2 hiding spots for every reptile. Add branches for climbers, substrate depth for burrowers, rocks for baskers. Rotate enrichment monthly. This isn't decoration. This is your reptile's mental health. 6. You're not watching for the one warning sign that changes everything. Remember earlier when I said there's one thing most owners miss? Watch your reptile's posture, not their activity level or eating, their posture. When a reptile is stressed chronically, they adopt a flattened posture. They become less responsive. Their eyes appear duller. They move with less purpose. This signals something is wrong with temperature, humidity, feeding, handling timing, or enclosure setup. Most owners miss it because they're looking for obvious signs like not eating or visible injury. But the posture change comes first. When you see this shift in your reptile's body language, something in their environment needs adjustment. That's your daily habit. Spend 5 minutes observing your reptile without interacting. Watch how they move, position themselves, interact with their space. That observation is your early warning system. Catch the stress before it becomes disease. Your reptile will never tell you in words, but their posture never lies.